Behind every viral YouTube car build is a builder who thought it was a good idea when they got started with it. But behind each and every one of those people is a car they like better.
And unfortunately, I'm that poster boy. So this guy asked me to come here and talk about all the mistakes I've made in life. That's the episode.
Buckle up, folks. I got some yapping to do and we got some cars to look at. Let's get into it. Newsflash! The internet is crazy, and car builds have gotten out of hand. We're so bombarded with new and crazy builds every single day that it makes you feel like a normal person can do them. But with so much content comes a lot of progression. And I think I have the perfect example for this, and it's actually good because I didn't come up with it. I grew up in the BMX world, and one of the most legendary riders' name was Matt Hoffman. They made a documentary called The Birth of Big Air, and this is like pre-internet BMX, and one of the most relevant things he said was back in the day, you got one magazine per month, and you'd go ride contests every now and then. And those were the two times that you got to notice that people were doing new stuff. So this meant that when you got this magazine, you'd flip through and see, oh shit, that dude did a 540 on a quarter pipe. And then you'd take your bike and go outside and do it. Or some dude that you don't know was working on a trick on the other side of the country, shows up to a contest in your yard and smokes you. But not today. Every single day, you see endless clips of kids you've never even heard of doing the most insane tricks you've ever seen. And this is for all action sports. But my group of old washed up BMX friends always sends each other clips. And the most common reply is, that's some Dave Mirra Pro BMX shit, a video game. Because the tricks that are being done now are insane. You can look at that in skateboarding, snowboarding, BMX, motocross, everything. The progression has gotten completely out of hand. But I'm gonna stop there. If anyone is even still watching, hit that subscribe button. But this is what's happening in cars. You go on social media or YouTube and you see the craziest car. Every single one is wider, faster, swappier than the last. And it's all because the business behind it drives these crazy builds. And it's not that you get paid a lot of money to build them. It's because people are doing it for the views. And let's be honest, you're more willing to click on a ridiculous sounding swap than you are watching somebody build a car that they just go out and enjoy to drive. That's just how YouTube works, unfortunately. I mean, I built a daily driver wagon on an episode and that did really well, but like, I was shocked. Thanks for watching it. I'm in the YouTube world, and I've been in the YouTube world for a long time at a previous company. I know a lot of these people out there. I mean, one of my good friends is building, buckle up, hold on, listen to this, a Ferrari Enzo V12 swapped F40 on his own, just like all by himself. Adam LZ put a 4-rotor into an A90 Supra. Tony Angelo put a Maserati V12 into a Fox Body Mustang. And these are all just like out there doing the thing. It makes you think that as a normal human, you can do this. And I'm all for it. I love crazy builds. I love seeing it. I think it's expanding the culture. But what I think it's also doing is warping the perception of the general public of what is possible and what makes a good car. So oftentimes you get stuck in the clout machine and you try to build something that at the end of the road sucks as a car. So today we're gonna go meet someone who probably knows the most about building a company on YouTube and maybe building cars, but has somehow managed to take his 20-year-long dream project, completely ruin it because he was building it for the internet. So buckle up, folks. We got a lot of yapping to do with the king yapper himself. There's gonna be over talking. We're gonna eat sandwiches. We're gonna talk about the business behind YouTube, behind building cars, and find out just how this man, who's so smart, managed to turn his 20-year project into a paperweight. Let's go. You may not know, presented by a guy you probably do know. It's the co-founder Hoonigan, Ken Block's right-hand man, and my tallest friend, Brian Scotto.
Haven't we made this show before?
Yeah, I'm just ripping off the old stuff.
All right, let's run it back.
What's up, man? Who are you and what'd you bring here today?
I'm Brian Scotto and
oh, this bullshit, what the?
I didn't even bring it here, bro. It's just been sitting here for a year and a half. After the divorce, it got moved here, and I haven't touched it since. It is my project car of 21 years. I bought this car in 2004.
2004 was 21 years ago?
Yeah, it's painful. There's people who are watching this that weren't even born when I bought this car. This is my never-ending Coupe Quattro project. For those who don't know, it's a 1990 Audi Coupe Quattro. They came here with like a blistering 160 some odd horsepower out of a normally aspirated inline 5. And this thing now is capable of like 1,200 horsepower, but it's not doing the thing yet.
This is a car that Brian has owned for such a long time, and it was a modest project car. And one glorious year during the pandemic, he got his project car running and driving, and then took it too far, and then decided to take it to the next stage, which may have ruined it.
This is the epitome of scope creep. It was supposed to be a 500 horsepower, narrow body, street car, no roll cage, no race car stuff, like maybe a handbrake, and now it's this.
So let's jump right into the sauce, because the outside looks crazy. We could all see that. But I forgot how cool under the hood was until I popped it. So look right under here. This is a race car.
Yeah, it is.
What the hell do you have here?
It's originally a 3B engine. I won't get into too many of the details, but it's an inline 5-cylinder turbo with a big old turbo sitting off the back. Cool rare bits like MTM stuff. It's running Cybex. In short, this is an old motor with modern technology. So like it has a drive-by-wire throttle body, which like it originally was just drive-by cable. It's sort of taking all the new technology that you would see in like an RS3 and trying to apply it to the old engine. It's all a great concept in theory, but
well, you did a really interesting decision by putting the motor so far forward and making your timing gear your crash beam, and where's that?
This is always the conversation. But basically, if the greatest car in the world is a 911 and they put the engine behind the rear axle, I figured I'd just put this one in front. That's not my decision. If it was up to me, this thing would be sitting like in the passenger seat. But this is what it is.
My favorite part about this car is that you did all this crazy bodywork to it, but you left it its original color.
That was mainly because the color became like an internet problem.
Is it green or blue?
What does it look like to you?
I forgot what the joke was. The joke was that Hurt used to call it what it's
Green.
not.
Hurt thought it was green. It's pretty blue. I'll tell you why I think he thought it was green. One, it was pretty faded. That was one. The paint was kind of faded. Two, it was like under fluorescent lights and no one had ever seen it in the daylight.
I'm gonna stop you.
Because it only lived in the back of the shop.
Just gonna stop you. He thought it was green because you said it was blue and he saw something to argue about.
And then
literally nothing
It was literally like, it was the Hoonigan version of what color is the dress.
Yeah.
There's still a fight about it. There's
no real reason other than just to make you angry.
Cars, I'm done, I quit. Fuck all of this.
So what do we got going on here? Because this is a pretty extreme body kit for a car that pretty much no one's ever seen before anyways.
There's a company called Prior Design in Germany, and they basically took all the inspiration from the Sport Quattro, which is like the 80s, kind of the hero Audi rally car, and they took that and tried to transfer that into what it would look like in the Coupe Quattro. So the Coupe Quattro was sold only for 2 years in the US. Like, I think there was only 1,300 units or something sold here, so like pretty rare.
Wow.
You don't see them a lot. It was all-wheel drive, NA, not by any means like a killer. Like It was too soft. It was sort of the design of it and the driving style. So Prior looked at it and said, how can we make this thing way more aggressive? In doing so, kind of huge wide body kit, obviously.
I love the hood. You got ducts here. I love the vent right above the turbo. I think that's
Which is all
cool.
a callback to the original Sport Quattro.
Yeah,
all
and
that
then
stuff.
The wide body is very wide.
Very wide.
Like, what is your wheel and tire setup?
They are 18 by 12 square, which is a massive wheel setup for this vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I mean, we'll see whether or not it works or not, but it's a lot. It's a lot of rubber.
And like wide body doesn't really ruin the car. You could argue that maybe the wheel and tire package isn't optimal for grip, but I think where scope creep really happened was inside. Inside the car, I think, is where the big scope creep happened because you built a race car.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like this. So the original plan was a full interior, maybe like a half cage. You know how like the Fortress of Solitude, this is like my Fortress of Anxiety. Because like everything I look at in here, I'm like, like this right here, this is the PDM control, not labeled, so I don't know what anything does anymore because I forgot. Because I at one point decided to pull all of the factory wiring out of the car.
Dog, there's nothing original in here. You have an aftermarket steering column, an aftermarket pedal box, aftermarket kit.
By the way, aftermarket's the wrong word. This is a fully custom pedal box built just for the car and for me. It's not even like if one of these things broke, I can't just go get it from like Tilted
or something.
No, I have to go make it again.
Oh my God.
Like this is all like Soupy and Grim did all of that. Even the HVAC system is like some boat marine heater that I got just so I can run defrost on the windows. Obviously full roll cage, which is a Cage Kits cage. Runs super nice and tight. This is a fun one because this is actually, as crazy as it looks, is the temporary transmission because I've got paddle shift set up for a dog box. This is just the trans to tune the engine with. Still got windows though. It has a fucking Ethernet cable. It has like $20,000 worth of management in here, and for some reason still needs an Ethernet cable to make it work.
We got to get this guy on fiber. He's got to get his upload speed faster on this thing. In a land before internet time, we had cars that we enjoyed that weren't so crazy.
All right, so here's how I see this. If you watch a lot of porn, right? Your expectation of what life is this, right? This is like some deep, like all the crazy shit you see, some dude with a couch watching you do your thing. That's this. This is everything this is everything Hub has to offer. This is what you actually do. Like it's not like full missionary, but like, you know, it's like maybe reverse girl.
This is good.
It's good. It's you know why it's good? Because you get to do it every day. I've never done this. I've only just seen it on the internet. I get to do this every day. It's tried and true. This is reality versus what the internet told you reality is supposed to be.
That was the absolute craziest comparison, but it makes sense.
I hope it does, because it's my life. This is the reason I own this. Audi RS2, only made in 1994 and 1995, came stock with 315 horsepower. In its day, I think the mid-90s, this thing did 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds.
Yo, that's so fast.
Top speed of 163 miles an hour. This thing was a monster. Actually, one of the fun stats I always love saying, it's faster to 30 miles an hour than a McLaren F1.
Weird flex, but
Weird flex, yeah. Because it's all-wheel drive. Like this was like this is the pinnacle, or at least the archetype of like the fast wagon. Built partially with Audi and finished with Porsche in the Zuffenhausen, which is the same exact factory that builds the 959 and everything, right?
Yeah, but the important thing to say about this is a car that is really cool.
Bro just cut me off.
Yeah, what else? You know how this goes. We're reflecting an old show.
Yeah.
It's a cool car that's special, it's rare, it's fun to drive, but it's like practical, and your ideal build on it is pretty simple.
Well, and back in the day, I couldn't get this car in the US. The closest I could get to it was the coupe. I bought the coupe, and my plan was like an RS2 spec engine, like 315, a little extra. Like this was what I wanted this to be. And somehow I have both, which is amazing. But at the end of the day, I just realized that like this is more me every day. All right, so you'll notice under the hood, it looks pretty similar, except this has a bunch of OEM bits in it. It's pretty much the same engine, except this one says powered by Porsche, which makes it like way cooler on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, but it is very much the same. I mean, radiator placement, turbo setup, like engine, like you could see them.
Pretty much the same engine, right? So it's all the same car. This one is just factory and is pretty good, just as it is. Like, yeah. It's just like I want it to be more than this, but it's pretty good as it is. Where the coupe has almost nothing left on its stock, this thing has just a few mods. Wheels, suspension, cup holder, baby seat, trash bag. It's really all I need in my life.
Yo, this is the most Scotto car with the most Scotto mod. My man has a pivoting cup holder on a dual action ram mount.
Boom, we are now technology. We just brought this car from 1994 right into like maybe 2014. This is a really practical car. As I've gotten older, I realize as much as I try to fight practicality, like it actually suits me. One, I have a kid, so I need something I can put a baby seat in. Two, like I'm always like collecting things. There's always something I have to go pick up or go buy.
But you also haven't, like you've had this car for 2 or 3 years now, and you haven't really done much to it. Like you didn't scope creep this project.
No, I've actually done nothing to it. I mean, I did coilovers and I did wheels and this like really nice cup holder mod. But like other than that, like I haven't really done anything. I mean, I've fixed a few things because I never got to the maintenance point of cars. I just got to the like throwing a lot of parts and modifications at them, and then like never actually, then parking them. So I don't actually understand the maintenance side. And for me, it was like all of the cars that we were building at the time were so crazy that like nobody cares about a turbo upgrade on a car that already has a turbo.
Right.
Like, that just doesn't move eyeballs. No one cares. The reality is like when we were making content for Hoonigan, nobody cared. Like they cared about me going and getting this car. Like that was fun because it was an adventure.
Yeah, it's like the purchase.
Yeah, the purchase part's cool. Like everyone's excited about that. But if I wasn't like, I'm gonna make this into the fastest RS2 ever with 1,200 horsepower, and guess what? I'm putting a Maserati engine in it. Like no one cares. No one wants to watch a show about a little bit more. How's that thing looking? What's the weight on that thing feel like?
Dude, this is a honker. Who got this?
Like what kind? Is it like? Oh, that's pretty good. That might like that's like a Long Island. I mean, table moves. Ready for this open?
What y'all don't know is all of us East Coasters have a little bit of resentment to California sandwiches. Let's see what this is all about.
I didn't realize, man. I don't like lettuce. You're gonna have to watch me rip my lettuce out of my sandwich now.
This is a good sandwich.
I didn't realize that all of this was on there because it doesn't say any of this shit. I don't like vegetables. That's not how I got big and strong. I bet Jolly eats vegetables, bro. It's like barely 5'11".
As someone who built a company around building YouTube content, specifically cars, what's your hot take on YouTube car builds right now?
Hot take, YouTube ruined car culture. You hear that?
That might be a little harsh.
I'll pull that one back. It's a joke, but like there's a reality to it. Like
totally.
Back in the day, you could have 300 horsepower, 400, 500 horsepower build that you could drive every day. Like it could be your car. Like when I was a kid from 17 to 20 something, like I had a Golf and I drove that thing every day. It was slammed, it was modded.
You had one car.
I had one car and like it was my everything. And I think that's really cool. We moved to a culture because YouTubers like ourselves had a business in building more and more cars. Because every time you put another car on the channel, more people watch it. Yeah. And actually, the YouTube model rewards more builds, not less builds done better.
Number one thing that performs well steadily on my channel is builds. But they're like the most unsustainable thing for me to do. And I do simple stuff.
And let me guess your bell curve on. Everything has an inverse bell curve. And when I say that, I mean views start good and then they drop down, and then they come back up again.
Yeah,
right?
So much so that the last 2 build episodes we did was a wagon, which wasn't really a build, it was like a mod, and the GT3 RS. But we did a lot of stuff in one episode.
And that's kind of, I think, the way to do it. But as a YouTuber, that kind of sucks.
Horrible.
Like, Hoonigan would do 6 or 7, maybe 10, and I think we even did like 13 or 14 on the donk. But if you watch the views, like when you introduce the project, everyone's excited. People are really excited what's going to happen. Little fall off on the second episode. Maybe there's a peak when you announce what engine's going in. Like that's like a big moment. Like, oh, we're going to put this engine in, especially if it's something different or cool. And then by the time you get to wiring, you are at like the lowest apex of people giving a about what you're making. Yeah. And then it's like first fire up and first test. And a lot of this is actually not the way you build cars. At least before YouTube, I didn't wait till the end to paint a car because I needed to be able to put the car back together, painted, and like you have the whole cars apart, you might as well strip the whole car, paint it, and then reassemble it.
That's a good point. You build cars in a completely different way for the internet because you need title thumbnail.
Right. So you're sort of building your cars out of order, which I think is just weird to begin with. And it creates a bunch of additional problems that like, it just takes more time. So like take the coupe, for example, like it runs, it doesn't drive, but it runs, it fires up, like it's doing the thing. But everything I need to do now, which is like figuring out my shaft length on my master, on my clutch, and figuring out why it's not engaging the tilt-in, like no one wants to watch this episode. Like, could you see the thumbnail? First of all, it's gonna have the word master and slave in it, which is immediately going to get me demonetized. It's like, can you imagine like figuring out my clutch woes? No one's watching that episode. Yeah. And the thing that sucks is like, that's the stuff that takes a lot of time. So if you're building something in real time, meaning like maybe you're just a few weeks out from the build, you've got this entire month or 2 months of working on the car that is either gonna be bad interaction with your audience or just something you're not making content on.
This is something that Brian could probably talk about for literally an entire day. So if you want to hear like a long format version of this, we're actually going to do this podcast on his Patreon. So you could, I'll put the link in the description below. You could check it out there, but we're going to tighten it up. But I do think like there is a world where you build an audience that wants to watch the little stuff. And I think like a great example of that is, I mentioned him earlier in this episode, but like Mike Burrows will do 200 episodes on a single build. His audience is there for it because of the audience that he built. Whereas like if I did more than 4 episodes on a build, I think people would just be like, you're never getting this done.
All right, but here's my hot take on that. Mike Burrows' content should be doing 3 times the views. Like if you think about the builds he's doing, and I love Burrows, and I love his content because it serves me. I like watching an entire episode about a bracket. But the reality is like because he is doing a really good job at it, he's not being rewarded for it. Because he's showing you all the parts. Because he's not filtering out the boring parts.
Right.
Like there's just not as much of an audience that shows up for it. So like and the reason why I like Mike so much and I respect Mike so much is that like he's doing that because that's what he wants to make, even though it's not financially like as viable for him.
Yeah.
Before I had a really hot take, I was probably being a little hyperbolic as I can be.
Scotto being aggressive, shocking.
I don't think YouTube destroyed car culture. Actually, I think YouTube did this amazing thing for car culture. Hey, it gave me a career, you, all of us, right? But I think what YouTube did was it removed the proper expectations people should have of what a fun car is.
That paired with YouTube made people think that you can have a ton of fun project cars. But in reality, you can't.
I am the cautionary tale of too many cars. Because like I was just saying before, I love this car. If I had to cut down to only 3 cars, this car would be in that mix. But like my door panel's falling apart because I don't have time to take care of it.
Yeah.
Like these are the small things. Like if I only had 1 or 2 cars to think about, those 2 cars would be pretty dialed.
Yeah.
But instead, I got cars that don't work right, you know? All right, can I audition something? Because I got this new like thing going for me. Like I want to try to get this out in the world. Like consider it like a Scotto policy. I hate the whole 2-car solution idea. It's bullshit. Anyone who can have a 2-car solution, like I don't know what kind of normal.
Oh, there's no 2-car solution.
I don't know what
it's
kind
like
of
4.
I'll give you a 3-car solution. One of them is a crew cab pickup truck. You can tow stuff with it, you can go pick up engines with it, but it's nice enough, especially if you have like a Raptor or something like you do, but it could be nice enough that like you could still take it to dinner. Yeah. So it like checks the box of like everything you need out of a daily. And the other thing you need is a car like this that you can drive every day and enjoy and be like, I enjoy driving cars still. I don't forget every day that I enjoy cars. And then you need a project because you need that car that like you have hopes and dreams. Everybody needs hope in life.
I just want to know who stole my friend. That is the most practical thing that you have ever said in the 10 years I've known you.
Because I want to point quickly back to the reason for the fun driver car is because the fun driver car makes you not throw away the whole hobby. Because I have been so frustrated with my project cars. So I'm like, cars, I'm done. I quit. Fuck all of this. It might be why I sold Hoonigan. I don't even know.
That hit so hard and from the soul. I would say there's a lesson at the end of this, but I'm pretty sure we're still gonna stick to the way we are. What'd you learn?
We should all just own one of these in life. I bet you the air conditioning works and the Bluetooth. I don't know, I think the lesson for the day, build something that you can enjoy, that you can actually finish.
Wow.
I won't listen to it. Do as I say, not as I do.
He hasn't figured it out, but basically this was a long format intervention for him to figure out his own problem. So thanks to everyone who's been watching. If you want to listen to this really long format, we're going to do this on a podcast on Brian's YouTube channel and on his Patreon, so go check that out. But for everyone who's been watching my content, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But for now, I don't know, we're going to yelp about this for another couple hours before we leave.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to sit in traffic and go home and like what normal cars do. That's pretty rad. That being said, like being really honest, 500 horsepower. That's like what would make this great.
We're done with the episode. You can turn that off whenever you want.
Like, cause like this is maybe two stock. I don't even know what I like anymore. Anybody want a Frozen or anything? A little shake maybe?
Yeah.
A little Sonic Blast? I know, it's okay.
Oh my god, the physics component is so
Fuck cars! I'm done, I quit. Fuck all of this.